Hi, this is Samia from Henna Fixation with your dose of Henna Fix, and today we're talking all about henna crown. If you're not familiar with this phrase, then henna crown is referring to a henna done on the head, and it is as a result of a temporary or permanent hair loss due to an illness. And as you probably already can imagine, this is a very important session for the person who is receiving it. Most likely that person has lost hair involuntarily. That's not something they wanted. They didn't want to look at themselves, without hair, and so this kind of happened without their consent, basically. And so this is a very sensitive area to be doing henna on somebody. This is very meaningful. This is very important, and so I want to talk about this today. But before I say anything else, please know that I'm not a medical professional. I don't give medical advices. I don't do any of that stuff. So whatever you get from this video, please use it with your discretion, do your research, and then make your best judgment. I don't know about you, but for me, hair does play an important role. When I look at myself in the mirror, I see hair. Actually, recently, I recently got a haircut after like a year and a half, and I was not feeling good about it. I was like, oh, this hair is out of shape and this kind of looks unruly. And so finally I said that's enough, and I got my hair done. And when I looked at myself in the mirror, it was beautiful. It was framing my face, and I love it. And so, you have to consider that for a lot of people, this is very important. Hair is very, very important. So when you're approaching this session, I think it's very important to empathize with the situation and really do it in a place of love and compassion and understanding. I think it's going to be an amazing experience for you and for the person who receives it. If you have not already done it, then you are missing out. I think you should definitely go and find someone and share this experience with them. So to talk about doing henna crown, I'm going to break it down into 3 different steps. First, I want to talk about what to do before, and what to do during, and then what to do after. Let's start with what to do before. Before during the session, I think it's very important for you to contact or be in communication with the doctor of your client. And so before you're even booking the session, maybe through the client or maybe to the doctor directly, you can send the list of ingredients you're using in your henna paste to make sure that that's okay for the person to use. So anything in it, if it's going to interfere with that person, then maybe you want to remove that or replace it with another one. And so just have it all cleared out, so and nothing is a surprise. Everything's ready to go, and that way you're just getting rid of any extra factors that might interfere with the experience yourself. The second thing to do before you are in that session is to make the henna paste. And so how I like to, and how I prefer or recommend you to make the henna paste for this specific session is by using only lavender essential oil in it, and no citrus, so no lemon juice. A lot of people use lemon juice and they're okay with it, but you are talking about a person who is going through a lot of chemotherapy maybe, or different situations that might interfere. And actually I use my paste with water anyway, but however, if you do use citrus, maybe you want to use water this time. And the water-based paste is as good, in my opinion. I don't know, it lasts a long time anyway, so it does really well. And as far as using lavender essential oil, it is the most gentle one. This is the one I use on pregnant bellies. This is the one that I would use for this session. However, if for some reason that is not okay, you've talked to the doctor or whatever, the person is allergic or who knows, anything, then you can make it without it. If you don't already know, then making henna paste without essential oil means that you're probably not gonna have a good life, what is it called, like a good lifetime of the paste itself. I think it's gonna kind of not work really quickly, so you want to make it as fresh as possible. And I'm not sure how the stain is going to be, if it's going to last that long or anything like that. However, you can definitely mention that to the client. Be like, hey, so this is the situation, this is what I want to do, and according to your preferences or the situation, I can offer you this, and this is what you can expect from it. I think a week, 5 to 10 days is reasonable about the henna on the head, to say that it's going to last about for 5 to 10 days. As far as during the session, now this is very important because you're doing a session on a person's head. That means wherever they're looking, they're probably going to look at themselves when they go up and down in the mirror. This is something that's on the face. If it's the rest on the body, you can cover it up, or you show it in a different way. But on the face, on the head, there's just not a lot to play with. So So take your time in this session, especially if you're doing something symmetrical, like make sure it's not lopsided. You know, I recommend sketching beforehand. I always recommend doing that if it's for a special occasion, like a photo shoot, or maybe even a bridal, or, you know, things like this, like henna crown. I think sketching is important because you want to make sure that you're getting all the right points. So sketch beforehand. If you're good at winging it, then good for you. But if you're not, know what you're starting off with. You know, maybe you can make points so that making sure some dots, you know, or some really faint lines to make sure that you are going to be doing a good design. And secondly, as far as situating the person, I think if that head is like, you know, a little below chest level, because I'm going to be doing above and around it, and so I think that is the best way to do it. If you can get, the person will be sitting on a stool, something that's lower. If you can get it with like a wheels, I think that would be really good too. Or if you can find a stool for yourself with wheels, so that, you know, you can do the top standing on, you can do the bottoms or the around the area sitting down, I think that will be really good too. I don't have that, and I didn't have the luxury of doing that, and so I stand all the time and I just do it. And so yeah, you want to be able to move around, obviously, and have the person sitting on a regular stool, like an ottoman or something, where they're just chilling and you have, you know, room enough to go around and be completely easy. And the last thing during the session is, I mean, for me, this one takes a long time because I take my time. This is really important. This is meaningful session. And so it takes me like an hour and a half to do one. If it takes you any sooner, that's great. However, in the middle, just, you know, offer any rest breaks for yourself and for that person, and, you know, just make it a really relaxing and enjoyable experience for them, because most likely they waited for this for some time. They really thought about if they want to do this, and this really was enough for them to get it done. So, you know, take your time, give them the best that you possibly can, a relaxing and a beautiful and a loving session, and I think they're going to love it. As far as what to do after, well, the aftercare is the same. You know, you probably want to apply a sealant, well, water-based water sugar sealant. I've talked about it in my other videos. So just, you know, a sealant would be good. I would not recommend using a tape on there, because this is the skull part and it's pretty hard and tough skin, just like it is on the hand. I think over here the tape was really painful, so I can't imagine it being on the head. So I would not use tape. I would just use the sealant, and, you know, do it maybe in the morning time, so that it has enough time to shed or anything like that, and to properly dry, and, you know, not sweat or anything. And so this would be my recommendation as far as the aftercare of the stain. And of course, you're talking about moisturizing just as normal, so just have them moisturize with whatever oil that they prefer to use. I mean, it should be, obviously, it should be fragrance free. I've talked about this. It can be like coconut oil or olive oil, or, you know, any of those oils that you cook with, and they would be really good on your skin. And lastly, to cap everything off, is whether you are charging for it or not. You know what? That is up to you. If you want to give it for free, then you give it for free. If you want to charge it, then you want to charge. You have to look at your business. You have to look at your budget. How I ended up doing this was I created a voucher program. So I knew that if I do X amount of sessions in this month, in any month, then I'm going to be okay with that. So I have a voucher program. It says, you know, I have a limited amount of vouchers available. If you want to get in touch, then please fill out the form, and then I'll let you know, what's up with that. If it's anything beyond that voucher, if I don't have any more, I've run out of those, that means that it's going to be a paid session. I mean, they can obviously wait the following month or whatever. For me, it has not gotten that far. No one has gotten above my voucher one. I want to do more of these sessions so bad. Like, I don't even care about the vouchers right now, but it's okay, because you get whatever you get, you know. And so the voucher program, I think, is a good way for you if you want to offer it for free and you want to keep it maintained, so that you don't end up feeling bad about it in a way that is costing you, and in a way that you don't feel comfortable with, you know. And so again, it's totally up to you. You can charge for it, you cannot charge for it. Again, henna is a luxury. It is not like a necessity. And so, you know, when it comes to manicures, pedicures, they charge for that. Haircuts, you know, if whatever that reason is, people pay for that. And so it is up to you. You do whatever you feel comfortable with doing. Well, this was it. I hope this video helps you out into figuring out how to do henna for a henna crown. Again, this is a very special session. If you can do it and you have the opportunity, then I say go for it. Find someone and do this session for them. They're going to love it and you're going to love it, and it's going to be like a love fest. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be awesome. So I recommend that you do it, and I hope some of these tips will help you in figuring out and setting up how that you go about in doing that. And if you like this video and you found any benefit from henna fixation, then please subscribe, like, and comment below. It does help me out a lot. And if you want to, if you have any more suggestions, or if you want to see anything else, comment, let me know. I want to hear it. I really like conversing with you guys, and I really appreciate all the emails and the messages you sent me. You guys know who you are. I've gotten several messages from several people globally, and it is always awesome to be able to read them and to somehow become part of your henna journey. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, henna on.